Hi everyone, Imran here, co-host of the True Sports Cards radio show and podcast replay. I'm here with my son Beckett, and we're excited to have you as our listening audience. Please be sure to subscribe and follow our channel.
I'm ready to start. Let's go.
We're done.
Card Part Saturday, they're riding with you. Best card show in the country, it's true. So saddle up and listen, find out what you've been missing. You can be a Card Part too.
Yeah, it's playoff time for basketball fans, and for card collectors, it's payoff time because Topps Chrome Football is here, and it has sent the hobby into an absolute frenzy. On today's episode of the True Sports Card Show, we're going to crunch some numbers on the hottest product in years, share some value insight and some surprises. Going to break down the very hot starts of some of baseball's top rookies. And we'll tell you about a former baseball top prospect whose hot start is collectors searching through their discards and bargain bins. So let's get started by breaking him out of the sealed case that he sleeps in every night. The one and only, a true case hit, Imran and Whitey.
Hey, card guy, shut up and just talk about cards, you idiot.
Yeah. That should be a t-shirt.
How smart am I right now? I've got glasses.
I know.
Hey, it happens. As you know from previous shows, I left my glasses in Atlanta, Georgia, in an Enterprise rent-a-car, and they diligently looked for it, I'm sure of it, because I said, hey, lost and found.
Yeah.
I'm looking for my very expensive glasses that I left. And they updated me quite often. Nope, haven't found them. So I went to go get them. I just duplicated them, picked them up this week, and here I am. So you'll feel a lot more energy and intelligence coming from me today now that my glasses
It's incredible.
are back.
Watch this. What's the square root of 9?
17. I was going to say 7, but I knew that was wrong, so I thought I'd add teen into there.
Yeah.
Is it 3?
3. Look at that. 3. Look at that.
3 times 3 is 9. So the square root of 81 would be 9 times 9?
It's glasses, man. I'm telling you.
Wait, hold on. Let me take the glasses off. Hey, do you like cards?
Put them back on. Put them back on.
Good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us here on this Saturday morning, the 18th of April. 3 days after Topps Chrome Football came out. It's a big topic. I put it on our Instagram stories. We had a conversation with friend of the show, Rob Veris, who is the owner of Burbank Sports Cards. Him and I spoke for about 10 or 15 minutes the other day about affordability, so I definitely want to get into that. Affordability in the hobby is kind of our topic for today. There's a lot of things going on, but
affordability and Topps Chrome Football, I don't know that they actually cross
two different
paths.
things. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oil and water. Well, there's always hanger boxes. Yeah, we'll see. All right, so what direction are we going with today, Whitey? What are we doing today?
Well, let's just look at Topps Chrome Football, how many they've made. Topps Chrome Baseball 2025. I know this is a lot of numbers, but we're going somewhere with it. It'll be
just
digestible.
You said baseball, not
Start with baseball. 67,711,000 total cards. Is
created.
Baseball. 2025-26 Chrome Basketball. 89,850,600 total cards. Football just came out. Total cards in the product, according to The Athletic. 97,213,332. However, there are fewer base cards in the football
in the 97 million?
And something that Fanatics, Topps, they're trying to give the impression that, Chrome Football, and I'm not saying it is or it isn't, I don't know, but they're trying to give the impression with fewer base cards that, man, this thing is loaded.
Well, limited edition of these 97 million cards. Wow, yeah, the dramaticness of, I'm just looking on a different pathway here. How many variations of a card are created?
You've got your favorite insert already, don't you?
Kaiju.
Hi.
So, you have Japanese roots in your family.
My wife's from Okinawa, and I've studied a little bit.
Yep. So I asked you about this kaiju. I didn't even know what it was called. I thought it was kanji.
Yeah.
It's kaiju.
You're saying it like French, like kaiju. It's kaiju.
Kaiju.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
And so with the kaiju inserts, I didn't know what it meant, which you translated
like
for me. Monster.
And Anthony knows from all the kaiju movies, right?
Yeah, like Godzilla, King Kong.
Mm-hmm.
There are only so that is the super, super, super short print that's only available in hobby and jumbo and Breaker's Delight. So they're not in retail. So if you were to buy blasters, which by the way, I use the term blasters because we've used it for the last 10 years with Panini, but Topps is trying to get rid of that term to value box. VB, value box, and hanger boxes, and mega boxes.
May I ask you a question?
Please.
Honestly, I'm not trying to make a joke. I never understood why they're called blaster boxes. I don't have any idea. A mega, okay, it's bigger. Hobby, yeah, it's a hobby box. Jumbo, bigger. But blaster box, I never had any idea why they called it that.
Me neither. Okay. I took a couple of years away from the hobby, about 10 years from age 14 or so, got involved in other things like video games and girls and driving and all that stuff. So then, you take the 10 or 12-year break and then you get back in. By the time I got back into it in my mid-20s, blaster was already the term. So I don't know. And the affordability nature of blaster boxes was what was so popular. I had a small account with Panini at one time for retail, so I was able to buy the retail boxes with the intention of me buying them as a distributor, taking them to a liquor store or whatever, and then selling them wholesale to them. So back then it was crazy. You could get in 2018 when I had my account. 2018 I was able to get Panini Prism basketball blasters for like $15 a box.
Yeah, they've more than doubled.
And a little bit. They're more like $400 a box now with Luka rookies in them. But you'd sell them to a liquor store on a wholesale basis, and you say, hey, I bought it for they're 15 for me, they're 20 for you. You put them on your shelf at 25, and that was kind of how it worked. Well, a lot of people abused that and ended up just having the retail account, putting it in their pocket or selling it directly to consumer, which then caused Panini to say, hey, this is not what we wanted. And they pretty much wiped out everybody's retail account unless they were one of the large accounts like MJ Holdings, which would give Target and Walmart and those guys their opportunities to buy it at wholesale. But now going back to Topps Chrome, talking about affordability, and first of all, Whitey, I don't know if you've bought any at this point right now. Do you?
I have not.
No.
I've looked at it, but I haven't yet.
What's preventing you from doing it personally?
Mainly,
Availability or cost or?
Yeah, just the cost, and I actually have some odds here from The Athletic again.
Please.
I've actually been skeptical of, am I getting any bang for my buck here?
Yeah.
Obviously, if you get, I don't have any, but if you get any kind of format and you can hang on to it or resell it, if you're into that, that's a hot market right now, right?
For sure.
Yeah.
And that's the problem that we face is that everybody's going to the retail locations, buying it for $40 plus tax, and then running to my store and saying, hey, do you want it? It's $70 to you, Imran. And I'm like, wait a minute, I don't feel comfortable about this. Buying from that. I'm certainly not going to the store and buying them off the shelf and then putting them on my shelf at more. Market right now for hanger boxes are right around, if you go open market, they're selling for about $40 to $45 per.
Wow.
But they're on the shelf at somewhere like Dick's or, lids in the wild at, I think, $25 or $20 plus tax.
I think it's $19.99.
Yeah, you're probably right. 20 plus tax.
Yeah.
So if you think about the margins, if I'm buying them for $35 and putting them on my shelf at $40 or $45, the person that went to the retail location to buy it at $20 plus tax is making more dollars than I'm making, which is fine. I mean, it's open market is open market, but just it's hard to find those. But a lot of people are not reselling it. They're just opening it, realizing that there's some opportunities there. But I don't think that they know the odds, which I think you're going to state the odds here in a second.
Yeah.
That retail does not have the ability to get some of the kaiju type of kaiju type of inserts, or I don't even know if Helix is in retail or not. So why don't you share the odds, please?
Okay. Hobby, you get this is
so they're exclusive to certain products, certain product lines.
Hobby, this is more the hits per format.
Okay.
Hobby is 1 auto, 12 parallels, 13.6 inserts, 3.6 numbered cards in a hobby box. Jumbo is 2 autos, about 22 parallels, about 19 inserts, and about 7 numbered cards. Breaker's Delight, 2 autos, 9 parallels, 1 insert per 5 boxes, 3 numbered cards. The value boxes, you retail 1 auto per 18.25 boxes.
That's much higher than I expected, truly.
Is it? 8 parallels.
So, so in a case of 40, you can expect about 2 autographs out of there.
Okay. Let's see. 8 parallels, 2.7 inserts, 3.5 boxes per numbered card. In the Mega, 1 auto per 8.9 boxes.
8.9. So megas come in 20 per case. So you can expect 2 autos out of that case of sealed mega.
14 parallels, 5.3 inserts, 1.75 boxes per numbered card. In the Hanger, 1 auto per 29 boxes.
There are usually 50, I think, in the
So
hanger.
like 2.2 per case of
Yeah.
the Hanger.
Yeah.
And Fanatics Mega, 1 auto per 5.4 boxes, 17 parallels, 5.1
That's
inserts.
much lower. Say that again. One
Fanatics
auto?
Mega, 1 auto per 5.4 boxes or 3.7 per case.
Okay, so you're getting almost 4 autos per case on the Fanatics one.
Now, is this pricing accurate? This is what they came up with for the pricing.
When's the date of this article?
Let's see. Give me 1 second here. April 17th.
Okay, so yesterday this article
Yeah.
came
So,
out.
and they're kind of guessing on the prices of the hobbies and such. Hobby, $1,250. Jumbo, $2,000. Fanatics Mega's $80.
I think the Fanatics Megas numbers are low, but the other two seem to be accurate.
Okay.
$12.50 a box. Not fun, guys. Not fun.
Yeah, based on their numbers, Jumbo is the best format, and I believe that, trying to take into account bang for your buck.
Okay. So normally I wouldn't speak on cost coming from the distributor. However, it's widely known and everybody's been speaking about it. So what I'm about to say isn't under lock and key. It's been pretty open that's been out there. When we first got our allocation directly from the distributor, Topps Fanatics, hobby shops are allocated a certain amount depending on the size of your shop, your frequency of what you buy. They have what's called a seller score. You as a hobby shop owner, how many levels of participation did you include yourself in? Did you, Imran, go to the Topps Industry Conference? Positive mark. Boop. Did you not go? Negative mark. Boop. Right?
Really?
So, yeah. So they really look at what you do to involve yourself. They figure the more involved you are, the more active you are in the hobby. Yes.
What if I say I win and I didn't? Are they going to check?
Oh, they check.
Really?
Yeah. There's even
They check the registration or
not-
something?
Yeah, they make sure you check in, that you get your badge. They make sure that, like, even the
They
breakout
check the
sessions.
security.
They check the security footage. They use AI facial recognition.
We didn't see you there.
Yeah. Well, I was wearing glasses. No. And a nose and a mustache. See? And then, like, even the breakout sessions, they have you use a QR code to log you into the breakout
Okay.
sessions. You can't just walk in
Wow,
there.
okay.
So they're really hypersensitive to figure out, are you really doing the dance? Are you participating in Fanatics Fest? Are you buying a table there? Are you doing hobby rip nights? Are you using your social media correctly? Are you tagging Topps?
Woo.
Are you buying products from us? Are you buying supplies from us? Right?
Are store inspections part of that? I know you told me sometimes.
I've had my manager pop in one day.
Yeah,
And thank goodness we were flying colors that day, but yeah, he pops in.
I hope you didn't have to use the bathroom.
Well, especially after you. Before you go to there, Whitey Gleason used it. Radio's Whitey Gleason used it. So yeah, they take that all into account, which then attributes to whether or not you get a little more options to buy or less options to buy.
Wow.
All right, so I will share with you that my account had far less than I thought that I was going to get, right? And again, it's not get, it's the opportunity to buy, right? And then here are 10 cases that you can buy. Would you like one or would you like 10? And I highly suggest you order 10, right? Or else next time, the next product, would you like one or would you like 8? Would you like one or would you like 3? So often hobby shops have to max out buying, what's necessary that's put in front of you. Well, I wasn't put a lot in front of me. And
That reminds me of something.
Yeah.
Extortion.
what's the word I'm
That's
looking
what
for?
it reminds me of.
Yeah. I highly suggest that you step up and buy this. So I'm watching Burbank Sports Cards Instagram. Friend of the show, friend of the shop, Rob Veras, who's the owner of it, aka the Card Father, says on there what he got in allocation, which I was absolutely shocked. I rewinded it 3 times just to make sure I heard it right. I called Rob yesterday. We spoke on the phone for a few minutes, and I said, just to make sure I heard you correctly, the largest and most successful and most visible card shop in the United States in Burbank Sports Cards, in your ownership, I heard you correctly. You were allocated 3 cases of hobby and 1 case of jumbo, as in 36 boxes of hobby and 8 boxes of jumbo. That's what you were allocated? He goes, yep. And I go, well, then I'm glad I got what I got, right? Because I'm a fraction of the size of him. And to have the largest shop in the United States have 3 cases of hobby is just criminal. On top of that, remember who gets most of the allocation. I've talked about it on previous shows before. Breakers are getting insane amounts of allocation.
Yeah.
And if you think about this, there's an account. I won't say who it is, but they've only been around for 2.5 years. And they break product. And they do a decent amount of numbers, but they were given 17 or 18 cases of hobby allocation. Of course, they had to pay for it. And then 10 cases of jumbo and 10 cases of Breaker's Delight.
I have a question about that.
How is that possible that the largest shop in the United States and one of the most visible and hobby-friendly shops are getting 36 boxes of hobby, and a breaker with no retail location, no need to face your customers, no need to be there to help your community out with having a great hobby shop to go to, can get 6 times more allocation of quote-unquote hobby boxes than a hobby shop.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the frustration that some of us, well, most of us feel in the hobby shop.
Is this the answer to that potentially? If I'm the distributor, if I'm Tops, I got my hobby shops. People are going to go in there. They're going to buy it. That's great. I've got my breakers. The breakers, everybody in the hobby, or many people are watching them. They're promoting the sales, which drive the sales everywhere, including at the hobby shops. So it's more cost effective for me to give a lot to them because it kind of pays for itself in promotion.
It sucks.
It's almost free promotion in a way.
I guess you could take it that angle. I think that,
I'm just trying to guess their motivation.
well, as far as Finax is concerned,
Yeah.
well, the more stuff that's open, the more hype that
Yeah.
stuff gets. And when you sell something on hobby in a hobby shop and somebody opens it, if I, Imran, or my team members or that person doesn't share it on social, nobody knows that kanji was hit.
Yeah.
Right?
Kaiju.
Yeah. That kaiju was hit. Nobody knows that. Nobody knows that the helix was pulled. Nobody knows that superfractor was pulled. What if the superfractor was opened by a dad and son, mother and daughter, whoever it be, and they don't have social media, or they don't want their kid on social media to be, put their face out there. So you got this great superfractor that was hit.
Nobody
knows. But on a breaker, it could be clipped, it can be shared.
Yes.
People all know about it.
Promotion.
Right. So
Yeah.
the idea is, where are we opening? Where are we having the most amount of product opened visibly to where we can create excitement within the hobby? And naturally, it's going to end up being some sort of breaker that's online with the ability to clip that.
We are talking today about Topps Chrome Football. It just came out. It's huge, and we're trying to get a handle on what's going on with it, and also perhaps give some advice on the best ways to navigate these sometimes deep waters. I have this, Imran, just the formats, desirable chases that can only be pulled from hobby formats. These can only be found in the hobby formats. Team Camo variation, Game Genies, Tecmo inserts. I think we
That's
touched
a
on
big
that
one.
Yeah, and autos, Tecmo autos. Kaiju, Radiating Rookies, Chrome Etch variations, 1990 Topps autos, Chromographs, Future Stars autos, Legends autos, Hall of Chrome autos, Dual autos, Rookie Patch autos. Those are only in hobby formats. These can be pulled from both hobby and retail. Helix, let's go. Ultraviolet, Lightning Leaders, Shadow Etch, Rookie Variation autos, Base Variation autos. And finally, the following can only be pulled from retail: Lightboard logo, fanatical urban legends, retail rookie autos, first-year fabric, rookie relics. Point is, they're trying, at least, they're making an effort to incentivize retail buyers. Like, well, I can't get this, that, but hey, there's some stuff I can only get in the retail.
Right, and that's fine. I think that you have to have some sort of limited edition with some value behind it, or else nobody will want to buy hanger boxes. Because if you don't have something specific to hanger, and you can't get Kaiju, or you can't get Tecmo,
yeah,
these are going to be it's going to be a detractor to even wanting that product. And that's going to drive down the price of those boxes. Okay, so let's get back to where we're at today. A couple things that I want to teach it, or at least mention, that's not necessarily well known, but it's important that we do it. And it's not specific to Topps Chrome football either. Tecmo is an example. Recently, the Tecmo Bowl inserts, they're a super short print. People love them. As we know, I think it was after your generation, but it was during my generation of Nintendo. Tecmo Bowl was the game.
Yeah.
Bo Jackson was the player. It was impossible. As soon as you hand it off to Bo Jackson, it was like...
Night.
Yes. It's so funny because there's 4 plays that you can have, passing or running, and Bo Jackson was 2 running plays of the 4. Marcus Allen was one of the running plays, and then you had 1 passing play. I think Jay Schrader was the quarterback for the Raiders at that time. Could have been. So who are you going to throw it to, right? Willie Gault. So the you just pick Bo and you just run around, and he was the icon. And that's why Bo Jackson is so affiliated with Tecmo Bowl. I mean, why would you even run Marcus Allen at that point? Like, poor guy. And so when you think of Tecmo Bowl, you think of Bo Jackson. So that's going to be the highest profiled version of the Tecmo Bowl insert.
Yeah, and Tecmo Bowl autos as well. Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
Yes, and the autos too. Now, the problem with any new product is first to market. So there was one closing of the Bo Jackson that happened. So if I look at Bo Jackson, I'm going to look and see what the Tecmo Bo Jackson most recently sold for. So when it first came out, on April 15th, one sold for $6,000. That was the day of when it came out. And then $6,000. And then 2 days later, $5,000. And then yesterday, one sold for $4,800. So what happens to the guy that paid $6,000 for the Bo Jackson? Now, is he upside down? Technically. But could he have sent that, he or she sent that to PSA to get graded and it comes back a PSA 10? Maybe that $6,000 he spent turns into $10,000 and he's protected. The key here is that with any new product, be ready. Because as you pull the product, let's just say that you're a fortunate person and you open the product day one and you pull a Bo Jackson Tecmo Bowl. If you go first to market, it's highly likely that you're going to get the most amount of money for that in its entirety of its run. Unless something unique happens and people go, wow, that Tecmo is a lot more short print than I thought. So 6K is what it came out the gate with. Now you had one close yesterday at $4,800. So a $1,200 dip from when it first came out, just 3 days later. So if you pull it, congrats. Get on market if you're not something that it's not something you want to keep. If it's something that you want to sell, get out there as soon as possible. Try to be first to market. If you're buying it independently and you're just out there buying it to have for yourself, wait until it settles. This thing will probably settle somewhere between $400 and $4,300 in more of a 2 week from now format. That's why when people say to me, hey, will you buy this for me, Imran? 90%, 95% of comp. I know based on history's adjustments that I'm probably looking at about a 15% drop within the first week to the third week. So I can't pay 90, 95% because I know that I potentially might be upside down. And that's the falsification of a new product when stuff comes out. So you just got to be careful with that when you're spending that kind of money.
What's incredible to me about the demand here is that if we go back to Topps Chrome basketball, Chrome basketball is back, the licensed product. I understand all that. There's a lot of excitement, but also it was fueled by Cooper Flag rookie, Con Knipple rookies, right? Yeah. This product, Topps Chrome football, you don't really have anything close to an equivalent rookie. There are a few rookies in there that are nice, but you don't have that, you got to get the, and yet it's still incredibly popular.
But you also have to consider this is different because the product has already been released after the season. So Kahn and Cooper were getting better throughout the year. The product's already out. You can see it climb. Oh, Cooper scored 51. He scored 40-something in the next game. He has scored 91 points within 2 games. Wow, his cards are going to go up now. This is released after Jackson Dart did what he did. He released after Scatabo had his injury.
Right.
It's
so
already
I would think
released.
that would dampen demand. That's what I would have expected.
Or it creates that false market and saying, it's Jackson Dart. He had a great first year. Then you have a release in April, and they don't even play until, September?
Mm-hmm.
So now we've got this, what he could do next year theory.
Yeah.
So there's a possibility that it goes up, but it certainly shouldn't go down because there's no activity happening between now and September. Whereas Topps Chrome basketball, activity's happening on a daily and nightly business, nightly shot. So it can go up or down throughout the year. Take Maxime as an example. Maxime right now, you can get the 42nd pick. You're getting an autograph, 1 or 2 per box, depending on what box you get. Hey, you got a Maxime auto. Now, every day somebody walks in the store and goes, do you have any Maxime autos? And he sells the base version of his autograph in Topps Chrome sells for $30-$35 nationally, let alone locally. If I put that thing in the case for $55, it's probably still going to sell well over comp because we're the hometown of Maxime.
Real quick, I know we're primarily talking about Topps Chrome football today, and we didn't discuss this, but since you brought up basketball, who do you think in the playoffs now has the best chance of driving up their card values? I would think it's Wemby. Wemby, is astronomical as his values are, if they get anywhere near the finals or actually win it all, I mean, aren't his numbers just going to shoot through the stratosphere?
I think that obviously you've got 2 monster teams in the West that they have to get through to get to the finals, right? One way or another, they're going to have to face one of the 2 or maybe both, depending on, I don't know the layout. It's not in front of me, but the Thunder and Denver. So in some format, those 3 teams are going to kind of have to beat up on each other, seeing who's left standing. I think if the Spurs get to the conference finals, they win the conference finals, and OKC and Denver are behind them, Wemby's cards are going to go through the roof because
that's what I would expect.
Whoever is playing against the West is going to be it doesn't matter who it is. They're going to be the underdog.
Yeah.
Right? So
I would think so.
Yeah. So then you're looking at Wemby in his 3rd year getting a championship potentially through the roof. So I would say that your opportunity is if you want to bet on Wemby, you do it now because by the time that it hits to where he's in the finals, whether they win or not, it may be too late for the upside aspect of that because they've gotten through the 2 monster teams. And again, I can't say that Minnesota won't do something or whatever, but we know that if the Spurs can get past those 2 teams, it's a smooth sailing into the finals and being the huge favorite, and that's where the money's going to be.
You as a Kings fan, are you pulling for De'Aaron Fox? I kind of
am.
Yeah, I am too.
I am. I have a big De'Aaron Fox card that's in my portfolio for investment. It's a 2017 Prism Bronze De'Aaron Fox. It's a number 20, and it's a BGS Pristine.
Woo!
So it's in that $1,500 to $1,700 range right now. They go to the finals. They get. I'm piggybacking off of Wemby with De'Aaron on this one.
Yeah.
So it's the farther the Spurs go, the better this card gets. I don't think it has a massive increase, but could it hit 2,500? Yeah, definitely. If they win the championship.
All right.
So I'm rooting for, and not only that, but De'Aaron was always good to our city. It's not his fault that they make bad decisions. Like
How about Mike Brown? You rooting for Mike Brown?
I'm indifferent. Mike Brown's a nice dude, but he's already had a championship with the Warriors as an assistant, and he's had plenty of stops for options, whether it be Cleveland, whether it be LA. He's had plenty of chances with good teams.
I wonder if the Knicks got bounced, that would be a disaster for them. It'd be great for the league if they get far, but if they get bounced and if Steve Kerr steps down, would Mike Brown go back to the Warriors? I don't know.
Or would Steve Kerr go to the Knicks?
I don't know. I think Steve Kerr,
because remember,
he's going to be done. He
turned
took
down
the
Phil
job
Jackson.
and then had to call and go, hey, about that. Yeah, never mind.
That was a sad thing with Kerr yesterday. Just
Yeah.
it looked like he was like, I'm done.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it did. Yeah, and I didn't expect that. Yeah.
Well, could we fit another guy here on the True Sports Card Show? It will be a trio. Me, you, and Kerr.
Well, I think I could. I think you have problems sharing, actually.
That's enough out of you. That's enough out of you,
Hey,
Whitey.
card guy, shut up and just talk about cards, you idiot.
So when we step into True Sports Cards, we come in, hey, Imran, Topps Chrome Football. How can you help me right now?
Okay, so I had one case of Topps Chrome Football, and
Oh, my dog ate it. He doesn't even have a dog.
I bought a dog to eat it. I didn't know what to do with it. It's still sitting back there, and we had Wave 2 option come to us, meaning Topps Fanatics said, "Hey, would you like another case?" And I said, "Sure, I guess." I haven't sold my first one yet because I didn't know what to do with it yet. And so for those of you that don't know, and I'm going to give you a little bit of behind the curtain, a sealed case is worth a lot more per box than a loose box because you are guaranteed that the case hit is somewhere in that box, in that case of 12 boxes. So by keeping the integrity of the case, my case is worth more per box.
If you have a box in a case and you have a loose box and you're selling me a box, even just one box in the case, they're not the same price. The one in the case is
worth more.
Yeah.
Correct. So, and not only that, but like if you're a breaker and you wanted to buy it, breakers would buy loose boxes, but they'd much rather buy a sealed case like the one that I have.
Because they know the case hit is in there.
So I just wanted to kind of let things settle to figure out what it would be like. Well, Topps came and said, "Hey, would you like more?" And again, I'm telling you a number that's coming out because it's widely out there. Not that I would normally tell you what cases cost or cost, but depending on the type of store that you have in hobby, they were offered to us directly from the distributor right around that $11.25 to $11.75 per box. That's from the manufacturer. So if I was to buy that case of 12 boxes at almost $1,200, what do you think I have to put it on my shelf at? Right? $1,300, $1,400, $1,400? That's a hard swallow for anybody. I don't care what your economics are. Maybe $1,400 isn't a lot to you, but it is to me.
Could we get the Draper discount on that?
Draper discount. So let's see. You paid $1,150. Can I get it for $800? Like that? Oh, great! I lose $400 every time you buy a box.
Even the Draper discount is a significant amount.
And remember, when we run credit cards, you got to figure that there's a processing fee for the credit card company, up to 3%. If you run $1,000 charge on a credit card, that's $30 gone to the credit card company. So when you guys, I'm looking at all of you on the YouTube video, say, "Hey, Imran, can I get that box for $1,200?" I'm like, I just bought it for $11.50 and you want to put it on a credit card, right? And it's like, what's happening here? So I was trying to rack my brain, and I have a friend of mine who's really dialed into the industry, and he's like, "Why don't you do this, Imran? Why don't you take the retail price of what it would be at, let's say $1,300.
Was this Anthony? Is he the friend in the industry?
Anthony was like, let me tell you, I'd get rid
I
of
asked
this.
not to be named.
Well, Anthony, you outed him.
That's my fault. My bad.
Free
Come
with
on,
every
guys.
purchase. One Jared Stidham rookie card. So let's just say that what we'll do is we'll say, I'm going to pre-sell the boxes. There's 12 boxes in here. We'll do them at $1,300 a box. And this is what's going to happen. We've already decided this. $1,300 a box. We have to sell all 12 boxes. So we're going to make the commitments from all of you that had said, you know what, Emran, I'll take 2 boxes at 13 each. Over here, this person says, I'll take 1 box at 13 for the box. Once I sell all 12, we will randomize the 12 upon payment. So pick number 1 through pick number 12. And then I will open the box sealed case, put the 12 out there, and then allow the person to be able to pick their box out of that sealed case. That way you know that it's a sealed case. I don't know if you're getting the case hit box or not, but at least you know that you're paying fair market value with the option of being able to get that sealed
Everybody
case.
got the
Yes.
same shot.
Right.
Yeah,
And if you buy 3 boxes at $1,300 a piece, you have 3 shots at the 12. So at least it's fair. Now, some people, and again, I'm talking in an educational format here. Some people will go, well, I go to eBay and I can see it for $1,100. You're right. But guess what? you cannot confirm that came from a sealed case that had already had the case hit pulled, and the person that owned the case goes, you know what? The rest of them are dead. There's no opportunity at the case hit. I'm going to put them out there at 1,100.
There may be
just
zero chance of a case.
Correct.
In there.
And there's so many times that people say that I bought 13 boxes online and I didn't get one
you
case
just wouldn't
hit.
Think of it. I wouldn't have thought of it.
Well, it's important for us to educate you as the consumer. There's a chance that it's a 0% chance that you're going to get a case hit because it came from a 12-box case. The owner ripped 3 boxes, pulled the Kaiju, pulled the Helix, pulled the whatever the case hit is, and goes, all right, these 7 probably don't have anything, so I'm going to put them online for 1,100, and it's under, I'm using air quotes on radio, under market. And these are the things that you have to pay attention to that don't happen unless you have people that are going to educate you or your local hobby shop like Rob or myself or other hobby shops.
Yeah, that's awesome. By the way, one of the things I love about the Kaiju cards, they have kanji on them, which is a Japanese form of writing. And I'm looking here at a picture of the Patrick Mahomes card. And apparently they show the player and then they're in their cities they play. There's writing on the right, the Japanese writing.
Yeah.
And I could not make it out.
You were deciphering it the whole time before.
What does it say? It says, like Patrick Mahomes, it says Kansas City. So it says the name of the city. And on the Jackson Dart one, it's New York. So
New York?
Yeah, I think it's New York. It's the Japanese form of writing for words that are not Japanese.
So awesome.
It took me forever. Kansas City.
It's a great insert. It's such a unique.
Cool.
It's the idea. If you haven't seen the Kaijus, they are like a Godzilla, larger than life, over the city. Type of look.
Like he's in a cornfield with a
Mahomes?
tractor. Yeah, see? There's corn there. He's like in a hurricane or something, or tornado, pardon me. Yeah, tornado. Yeah.
But these numbers.
Any of these in your case yet?
No, I can't afford it. The Cam Ward, there was 4 total sales of Kaiju cards on eBay of completed sales. Whether they paid or not, we don't know yet. But because it's so new. But there's only 4 completed sales. The Cam Ward went for $11,000. Non-numbered, just the short print. The Joe Burrow, $10,500. The Josh Allen, $11,000. You pull one of these bad boys, it's pretty awesome. So just to let you know, later today I'll be working out how to do the hobby sale of this, so that way you have a chance at getting a case hit out of the case that I have at $1,300 per box, and that's right around that market value. It may be $1,250, it may be $1,300, but it won't be more than that because that's what market value is. But again, if you were to sell that case sealed, it's going to be more like $1,350 to $1,400 a box times 12.
What this actually says, Emran, I'm showing Emran the picture. This is Kanzasu, and I think it's Shite. That's actually literally Kanzasu Shite, Kansas City.
Anthony, do we have to bleep that?
Yeah, I had my finger on the
Okay, I was just gonna say.
I didn't know how close we could get.
I think he
Took me a while to decipher it.
Yeah, well, don't worry. It's always Kanza. No, I think he said city is what he was.
Yes.
That's not what it came out of your mouth, but yes.
She Tay. That's what I said. She.
That's how we describe the pricing of Topps Chrome retail. Somebody in the chat brought up a funny point. Someone probably scanned the case and opened the box where the case hits and sell the rest. That's what AC43 says. Yeah, I mean, that was a conversation way back when. I think it's a little tougher with all the metallic in there. I have no clue what they're doing with their scanning purposes, but that's a very expensive machine to have. As somebody that's gotten plenty of CAT scans and MRIs myself, I can tell you that it's not cheap to own one of those machines. I asked a lot of questions when I was going through my chemo for cancer, and I was like, how much does the machine cost? What does it run? And not only that, the exposure that you get in the radiation. So if somebody wants to search through a football hobby case, so be it. But I don't think that happens on a regular basis.
Hey, says Gregory Johnson, it's great listening to Card Talk. I have a question for you guys. I just started opening packs. I got an Aaron Judge King of Clubs Top Series 1 2026. Is this something I can bring to your shop?
Yes, you can bring anything to the shop, whether or not I buy it or not.
Well,
It's a different-
yeah.
So
The implication
to
is, would you be
answer
interested in buying it,
the
but-
technicality of it,
Yeah.
yes, you can bring it into the
Sure,
shop.
bring it on in.
Yeah. If you're asking me if I want to buy it,
Uh-huh.
that's a different story. It just depends on the value at the time. But, Aaron Judge is always going to be something of interest for us.
He adds help with next steps like grading.
Yeah, absolutely. That's one of our specialties. Whether it's me, Donovan, AJ, DJ, any of us can help you.
Yeah.
Not necessarily saying this is going to get a 10, this is going to get a 9, but hey, I would not send
That's
this
the
one
most
in.
valuable service they
Yeah,
provide.
yeah.
You think, ooh, I get this, and I did the math, and if it's even a 9, I'm going to get this much. And they will look at it and go, oh, that ain't a 9.
Yeah, you ain't going to get a 9, buddy. You'd be lucky to get a 7.
So don't submit it
Yes,
because the cost sometimes you end up losing money on the
We're
grading.
great about helping you on what not to send in, but ultimately there are cards that you send in no matter what. A Mahomes rookie you send in. A Michael Jordan rookie card you send in. You have to send those in because it doesn't matter what grade they are, there will always be interest in that
You
card.
sandbagged me once on one of my cards.
Tell me.
In a good way.
Which one?
When I brought in that Kobe
Yeah, the Kobe.
electrifying.
Yeah.
And you said, let me see what AJ thinks. You took it over to AJ, and you came back, and he says it's like a 7, maybe an 8. So, and I could
But I
tell
said
by the
I'd
way-
still send it anyways.
Yeah. And I thought, I'm not sure he's telling me the truth.
I'm not sure
And
he
then
knows what he's talking
when
about.
it came in, you go, it did a little better than we thought. It was a 9. So, yeah. But I think maybe you...
Under promise and over deliver.
Yeah,
Welcome
there
to the
you go.
Imran Pilati experience.
There you go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's me.
Uh-huh.
Well, I
don't know.
Yeah, I'm not the
sure.
grader, and not only that, but it's not AI based, so it's subjective. There's a human that looks at it, and if their dog had to go to the vet that day, they're a lot more grumpier than they'd be generous.
Yeah.
you know?
We're going to get electronic grading at some point, aren't we? AI. I mean, you
There
have
already is with tag,
robot
but
balls and strikes.
no kidding. But then what ends up happening is the subjectiveness goes away, the human error element goes away, and then they can't. I don't know. I think once you automate something, the question then becomes, then why is it so expensive if there's no humans that you have to pay?
Yeah, to me, the problem would be if they have electronic grading for cards and then you have a ton of cards graded and then over a 1.5 or 2 year period, someone says, oh, you know what? We realize there's a flaw in this. Then all those grades, like what happens? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we have to upgrade the system. We didn't take this into account. So what does that mean for
As we-
everything that had been graded to that point?
Yes, and I think that a company like PSA, a company like CGC, which is grading a lot more cards, I think any company looks at it and says, how do we maximize our income for our ownership group or investors? And by hiring humans, you create a workflow that has a capacity. So there's only so many cards you can grade because the human has to sleep, have a break, go to the bathroom, right? Unless you work at Amazon, you don't have a choice. Like, you're penalized for using the restroom. But I'm saying there's a capacity. So when we have 200 people grading, we can only grade 80,000 cards a day, as an example. I'm just making up numbers.
That's a lot for one
It's
guy.
true. It's yeah. I said 200 graders, not one guy. Get to work. More
I thought you said if
kaijus.
we have 2 graders.
200 graders.
Otherwise, I get 10, 10,
So what is
7,
that? Four,
8.
but an automated AI platform can do that. What you're just doing.
I know.
So
yeah.
then, at no cost, at 24 hours a day.
Mm-hmm.
So then the question then becomes for the consumer: well, why am I paying so much when you're not? There's no humans there. And then on top of that, what's the chance of me cracking and regrading? 'Cause
Yeah.
that's a format that a
Yeah.
lot of people love doing.
Yeah.
So there's complications as AI take more and more jobs away from people, including potentially grading.
Including radio.
How do you justify this? How do you justify saying that we're going to charge you $30 per card, says PSA, when there's no human looking at it and it's just cranking out?
Oh, I'm
right?
sure they're looking at it. It's coming, but I
Oh.
don't know. Great question here from Logical Raptors Fanatic in the chat. He asks, Kaiju flag? Now, of course, no, because the Kaiju are only Topps Chrome football right now, but I'd love to see it.
I'll tell you what, that I know that I don't know, but I can assume that the people at Fanatics are looking at it going, dude, they're going crazy over Kaiju.
Yeah.
You got to put this in every product.
Yeah.
Because anytime something goes really well, you gotta blow it up. You gotta make sure that you have a lot more of them. So I would totally anticipate seeing that. And again, who better to tower over an entire city than a basketball player? I mean, that's the true tall, huge monster. So it would be wonderful to see who would be the Kings version of Kaiju?
Dylan Cardwell's a great Kaiju.
Yeah, if he had his arms up doing the hype hands, that'd be fun.
Over the
city
arena with the beam.
Yes,
but
that's
a great looking card.
Well, I was gonna say it's the King, so there's a chance that the beam won't be lit.
My goodness.
My goodness, you're correct, yet hurtful.
Maybe too legit.
The beam would be the super short print.
Wow.
So there'd be the Kaiju version. And then if you really want the
beam
limited,
split on this one. They only do that like 7 times a year now.
That's 20x the value.
Mean.
It's mean yet accurate.
Manny, too legit. How much would it cost to get my Pokemon card graded if I sent it to you guys?
Okay,
you want to bring it in, right?
Yeah, you don't want to send it in. You want to bring it in
because they don't actually do the grading.
No, we do not.
They send it off to the graders and give you some idea what they think it might.
Single card, $35, 5 or more, 30 each. Why is it so expensive, Imran? Because it's expensive. Okay, my cost is $27 per card. Okay. And I don't charge you shipping either way. Insured either way. I don't charge you for walking it into PSA like we do.
Charge me for that.
You're a little different story.
Give me a long list of these fees, and I was like, what?
Have to deal with your fee.
Reading the list of fees? I get charged for reading the list of fees?
Yeah.
Oh, whatever.
If you bring in 500 Jared Stidham cards, you actually get 25 for free. Graded. If you bring in 500,
that's good to know.
Seems like
he
it's
speaks
terrible.
from experience.
Your Stidham got a 7. You lost money.
All of them. All 500 got 7.
Before we leave today, I want to talk about my.
We do have some calls, by the way.
Okay, we'll take the calls, but before we leave today, I want to address my 1-star review that I got personally. It's a grievance. I got a 1-star review about box prices.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I need this counseling session before we end today.
Maybe if you were kinder to the Kings, people would be kinder to you. I don't know.
Kings can be kind by winning. All right, let's take the call. Who do we got?
Let's start with JR on Sacktown.
JR is different than Jason, or is it JR is a new caller to us?
JR and Jason's there too, but we'll start with JR, who could take
JR,
us in
let's
any
do
direction.
it. What's up,
JR?
This is Jerry Reynolds. No, just kidding. Hey, bobbleheads. In fact, I was going to say I got a Jerry Reynolds bobblehead. How much do you think that's worth there, Whitey?
Well, there's only one.
There's only one.
Jerry was supposed to send us a picture, and he hasn't sent the picture yet. But do you still have all those like Carl's Jr. bobbleheads?
I have tons of them. I have those, all the Giants. So a serious question, are bobbleheads ever worth anything, depending on how many they have? Is there any value? Do you ever do that kind of
JR,
stock price?
Based on my knowledge as a guy that waited for the bobbleheads, did you go to Carl's Jr. a lot to go get them?
Yeah, I put on about 10 pounds.
Yeah, well, I've about 20. And
my blood slowed down.
Let me just tell you what I do with the bobbleheads. If you ever come into our shop at 6661 Stanford Ranch in Rockland, you could see that the bobbleheads are holding up the boxes for that's what I tell you. People go, is that Bobby Jackson behind there? Yeah, he's holding up the Topps Chrome box, so that way it's leaning upwards so you can see the box. The value is very little. However, the nostalgia of it's great. People try to sell bobbleheads all the time. And while they are popular, like recently they had the Knicks Kurtz bobblehead night a couple nights ago.
But that's a limited.
People love it.
Yeah.
But I would just say that the Kings bobbleheads from the 2000s, very little value above and beyond what you paid for it.
Because they made so many?
Yeah, they made so many, and it's Carl's Jr. branded.
But JR, you said you have Giants ones, so you might have a Tsuyoshi.
Yeah,
do you have a Tsuyoshi Shinjo?
I do not, but I have the Buster holding on to, what's his name?
Lincecum.
Bumgarner. Bumgarner one.
Oh, okay.
And then I have the both the Brandon Coffers where he's hitting and he's fielding. And so I've had people come over and offer me money that are friends. Of course, they've had a few beverages.
Take it.
Oh,
maybe their offers weren't clear.
Give him more beverages and see if you get up the price. Get him out of your collection as soon as possible.
Sell.
Get rid of him.
There you go, JR.
You guys awesome. Talk to you later.
Thanks, JR.
Thank you. And Jason has been hanging on. Hey, Jason, what's going on?
How you guys doing?
Good.
Hey, I got a question. Since this is the time of the year for rumors, should I invest in John Morant cards since he might be coming to Sacramento?
All right, take this one off the air. Thanks, Jason. We got you this week during Drive Guys. I know that has come up in conversation this past week about John Morant. Thoughts? What do you want to do, Whitey?
It came up because there was a story at ESPN.com about John. He's probably leaving Memphis, and Sacramento's, a lot of people think they might be interested because they were interested last year. I don't think it's going to happen. You have Anthony in there who says that Ja this summer is going to be like last summer's Jonathan Kuminga. So remember how much Kuminga.
Can't wait
We're going to talk about it a lot.
We may be wandering down that path.
The only way that we don't talk about it is if the Kings get a super high draft pick, as in like top 2, maybe 3, and Darren Peterson's in the conversation, even though he's a shooting guard, or, Acuff is in the conversation. Acuff is small. I think he's like 6'3", so he'd be a point guard candidate, right? I think once you have guys like that off the table in conversation, let's just say the Kings end up with pick number 7 and they don't have a chance at a guy like that, then I think the Morant rumors keep going.
We'll see.
I'm for it.
But I would not invest in his cards at this point.
I would not. I'm for him. Dude, we won 20 games. What?
Well, 22.
Oh, never mind. Off the table. Go for it.
No wonder you said they'd never like to be. You didn't know how many games they won.
This year is going to be... Here's what I know. I didn't have to worry about driving home that night and seeing a beam.
Wow.
I'm not saying anything that's not true. I love the Kings more than anything. I
know, you go to a lot of
I showed
games.
you my lower back tattoo.
You follow you follow every game except sometimes you're not sure when they play.
You saw my Roy Al tattoo.
I did not. I did not, and I don't want to.
My Roy Al tattoo. 1-star review.
Yeah, what happened?
So I hope that this dork is listening right now. I want to address you. I got a 1-star review, and I usually roast people back on my reviews because what ends up happening is they tell their truth but not the truth. And this 1-star review left me their truth and not the truth. I had a guy come in with I assume his wife or his girlfriend. The two of them came in. I'd never seen them before. And they came in, and they were looking around the shop, and, we're friendly like we always are. And so he came and he said, hey, I'd like a box of Topps Series 1. It was a hobby box. We had it on our shelf at like $175 at the time, something like that. And I go, okay. So I go to turn around to get it. And before I even turn around completely, he goes, did you know that insert card name of shop sells it for $15 cheaper than you? And I literally hadn't even turned my body. And I didn't even turn around. And I go, how come you didn't get it there then? And then he says, well, they were out. And I was like, okay. So I turn around with a box and I hand it to him. I go, we're $175 plus tax. And he goes, so you're not going to match the other store? And I said, no, I can't. I can't match the other store because, I have a cost. And if the cost goes up, I have to charge a little bit more. And if the cost goes down, I actually reduce the box price depending on it. Well, that doesn't seem like good business to me, he says. And I said, you're correct. It doesn't seem like good business for me to match a price of a store that has been sold out of that product. You're right. Well, then I guess I'll just take my business elsewhere. I said, you should, definitely. You should take it to that shop that you can't get the box for the price at that, right? I'm just being a smart ass like I normally am.
Yeah. Did you have your glasses on?
I did. And here's the thing about it. It's one thing to come at me and say, hey, do you have some flexibility? I could have said something like, you know what? I don't have flexibility here, but I do have some flexibility in my hot corner. How about this? Buy it at the full price, go over there and spend $15 worth of hot corner singles, no problem. Get some value out of it. A little scratch.
Yeah.
The back scratch. Yeah. What this dork, and I hope you're listening, dork, what you didn't realize was directly behind you, sitting at the table, was somebody that spent more than $2,000 on wax. It's a regular customer that doesn't ask me for bumpkus. Nothing. Doesn't ask for a dime less. Doesn't ask for it. But I won't disclose what we do in order to make it a value benefit for him. You know, I might give him more cards or supplies or whatever. It's none of everybody's business between me and the customer. But here's somebody that doesn't complain about anything, spends $2,000 in wax. And imagine what would have happened to the trust level between me and my customer, my loyal customer that comes in every day or every week to come and buy cards from us, if I just thrown a discount to this dude for this one-off, never been to our store, complaining before I even turn around. How disrespectful would that have been to the guy that's sitting there that would have heard me say to him, sure, I'll do that. And he looks up and goes, I just spent $2,000 and you didn't do X, Y, and Z for me. Mm-hmm. That's not how business is built. And not only that, but I don't do it as a discount. I do it as a thank you. Thank you for choosing us when there's many other shops for you to choose from. $2,000 spender. Here's what I'd like to do for you, which I do for him, and he's grateful, and we're grateful to business back and forth. But that's the kind of stuff that people do, and I'm not Amazon, and I'm not the owner of a card shop that's a billion-dollar former football player. So when you come at me and you want to come at me and say, how come your prices aren't matching the other guy? It's because I get one freaking case of Topps Chrome football. It's because I have to go out and, I'm at the mercy of the market, so I price fairly. I try my best to be a great example in the community. So if you want to leave me a 1-star review, I will live with that because I have 5,000 5-star people that come into my store that I will always be loyal to above and beyond you, your wife, your partner, running around trying to save $15. So when you go downtown and you find parking for $15 to $30 for parking just to get over to that shop to be able to buy something for $15 less, I'm not your shop. Mm-hmm. And I just want to make sure I say that because I like to respond to 1-star reviews because it's like putting a billboard out there that your shop sucks. And if I don't address it, then it appears that I'm complicit towards whatever was said. And that's not the case at all. So I will get back on him. And I love it when a customer gives me a review, the true review, because they were a customer. Not because they ran in here demanding something, didn't get it, and decides that it's 1-star review.
So when he comes in and says, hey,
he ain't coming in. I'll tell him get out.
But when he did come in.
Yes.
And he asked he never intended to buy the box that he asked for, right? When he said, hey, I'll take a whatever.
He would have bought it if I'd matched the price.
Yeah.
But if you're gonna hammer me over $15, just tell me I can't afford the box. And I would have given you 17 other options of boxes. Mm-hmm. Right? But I'm certainly not going to discount a box from a one-timer, never been loyal to our store before. Every store has loyal customers, whether it's my store, another store, they have their versions of loyal customers. That's their norm of cheers there, right? And I'm always going to take care of my norm over some random that walks in and demands discounts.
As many people as you have come into your store, as you continue to get more and more popular, every so often you're going to get somebody like that. It's the math. So don't take it personally. Yeah. Don't
take it personally. Spend 10 minutes on your radio show talking about it. But I think it's important that whether it's a card shop, whether it's a landscaping business, whether it's a radio show, we're going to make sure that those that invest into us or spend time with us or are loyal to us are the ones taken care of above and beyond everybody else first. Mm-hmm. Yep. So that's how we roll.
Yeah. Well said.
Sorry I had to take it that way, but I just wanted to make sure that I addressed it. And we're so grateful for the people that continue to choose us. And just like any hobby shop would be grateful for the people that are the regulars and committed to them. I'm not saying that you don't have to be, with us specifically, but if you are with us, we're on Team U as well.
We'll see you at the True Sports Card store. Maybe up there today, as a matter of fact. You guys open today? Of course you're open.
You're going because you got to go get your Topps Chrome.
I might have to, yeah. And we'll talk to you next week on the True Sports Card Show. Thank you, Anthony. Have a great weekend. With singles, boxes, and more.
And if you're hungry, Chinese restaurant right next door to the card store.